very much, Charlotte. Well, we're talking about chaos for commuters, not because of the weather, but because of this strike on Southern. More talks being held today to resolve the ongoing dispute. It is a second day of train drivers going on strike.
Commuters on the network have been plagued by months of unreliable services. I speak now to Susanna Dean in Westminster, who's from the Association of British Commuters. Susanna, this is all a complete fiasco, isn't it?
It's an absolute fiasco. Obviously, Southern Rail and indeed other services from Go via Thames think of an absolute meltdown. But you said it right, Piers. You said the disruption has been going on for months and is not just, which implied that you also are aware that it isn't just on strike days.
We had Chris Grayling, the Transport Secretary, on yesterday, and we had a pretty feisty interview with him because he was basically saying, look, there's nothing I can do. It's not like the old days of British Rail where we could hire and fire people. They are other employees of another company. I mean, I suggested to him, well, you could, of course, always threaten to take away the licence, the franchise, from the operators here, because that's in the government's power. What do you think we need to do to get through this impasse?
Chris Grayling knows full well that in the case of Southern Rail, this is a management contract rather than a normal franchise. That essentially means, and I'm sure lots of people know already, that all tickets from revenue sales go straight to the government, and the government then pays Southern Rail, I think it's 1.2 billion a year, to manage the franchise. So actually, the Department for Transport have got a lot more say in what happens than Chris Grayling likes to make out. Essentially, Southern Rail are just subcontractors of the Department for Transport. So with the ACAS talks that are happening today, this week, I'm feeling, you know, obviously I want to remain optimistic about it, but on the other hand, if the Department for Transport aren't going to be there around the table, then it's just going to be another case of a subcontractor saying, look, there's nothing we can do, and it's because the Department for Transport need to step in immediately.
Is this, Summer, is this a problem because Southern want just the driver to close the doors of the trains using tiny security screens as their guide, which is obviously what the strike is about? Or is this because the management of Southern are incompetent?
I think it's a really unfortunate combination of a lot of different things. Obviously, we have got strike action. There is an industrial dispute happening, and that is a variety of things. It's not just about who presses a button and who opens and closes the doors. It's a lot more than that. It's about how disabled people will be able to turn up to a station and just go about their everyday lives like everybody else without having to book 48 hours in advance for assistance and lots of other things like that. And of course, safety, as you said, you know, the tiny little cameras. We've seen photos of really remote train stations that don't have a lot of light and that you literally cannot see what is on that platform through those cameras. But of course, it's about the ongoing mismanagement, and that's why the disruption isn't just on strike days, it's every single day. The communication from the train operating company, in this case Southern, to the passengers has been absolutely appalling. And passengers will tell you that. They will tell Twitter that. They will tell everybody that. And that's something that we've seen over the past 6 months, and actually longer than the past 6 months, the past 18 months as well.
OK, Summer, thank you very much indeed for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
7th